the Vice Prime Minister tweeted publicly and copied Elon Musk in to say, you're doing all these fantastic things with your satellites. What about us? Can you not put your satellites over Ukraine? And literally a couple of hours later, Elon Musk tweeted back to say, satellites are now positioned over Ukraine. And shortly after that, he delivered a lot of terminals. By April, there were 5,000 terminals in place. These terminals are very easy. Literally within 2 minutes, you take your terminal, you plug it into power, it finds its satellite, and you've got gigabits of internet service. So for civilians, this is a massive thing to get reconnected, find out how people are, send messages overseas and so on. Musk has got a big business running on this. He's got 5,000 satellites running around the world. They're over 500 kilometers above the Earth. They travel at 27,000 kilometers per hour. It's a huge investment. And by May 22, there was something like 150,000 Ukrainians using this service.
And how long is it going to be before it's finished? Because I understood there were going to be a lot more satellites up there. It's a hugely intensive investment by Musk in this constellation. And I seem to recall at the time that he got into a bit of trouble because it looked like he was taking sides in the war. And of course, Musk wants to be an international. He's put that much money into tens of thousands of satellites. He'll want to see a return not only from Ukraine, but from Russia, from China. How did he solve that one?
Well, I mean, first, back to the first part of your question, he's got a vertically integrated business. He makes the equipment, he provides the service, he sells it through Tesla on the ground. He owns the rockets, he puts the satellites into space. He's the most successful guy in history at doing this. So he's building the infrastructure. What he doesn't want is half the world not using it because they believe he's taken sides. Now, back to the second part of your question. The problem is you give people internet, guess what? They use it. He's also put 2 amazing patches into the software. Now, arguably he did it to give better access for civilians. One was so that you could plug it into a cigarette lighter in your car. So no need for a plug in a wall. The second thing is Putin started to disrupt the signals. Now, having so many satellites is very difficult. If it was one or a cell tower, you could take it out. If you've got 5,000 satellites, very, very difficult to interrupt that. But Putin had managed to get in between the terminal and the satellites and start to disrupt it. Literally within a couple of days, Elon Musk had created a patch that unraveled that and stopped Putin doing it. So use from a military point of view is incredible. You can identify a particular target with its GPS coordinates. You can send a drone up, and with high precision, you can take out a single tank. This has been a huge irritation for Putin. And of course, the comment back from Russia and actually now from China is, have you taken sides in this war? Elon Musk's response is, that was never in the plan. He will want to sell this service across the world.
But it's also, obviously, I think it was fascinating because from a military perspective, from the Cold War, there was always electronic measures, then countermeasures, then countermeasures. And sometimes those measures took years to bring in place. What I loved is that Elon Musk 2 days later had got a patch. And that's what this agility of modern technology is. It might be a very big constellation, but the software can be easily transformed to get around any wrinkle, which obviously Putin had tried to put in.
Well, leaders in the US military have scratched their heads and said, basically, how did he do it? And why can't we be so agile?